Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hey, That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch. This is my favorite podcast currently on the internet.
Oh, number one.
Number one with a bullet.
Okay. That's very exciting.
Yeah. I'm not going to give it a good review, though. I'm not going to leave a review.
This is a podcast where we do commentaries on movies or TV shows with people from those movies and TV shows who never got to do commentaries on them.
Patrick, I know this.
I know, but people who are listening may not.
Oh.
Because we've got a cool one today, so I'm assuming that we will have new people listening.
Yeah, people might seek this one out because you never hear about a Predator movie from the point of view of the Predator.
It's true.
Finally.
We're watching Prey, and we have Dane DiLiegro on, who played the Predator in the movie Prey.
Right.
He is the man in the suit for the Predator.
He's the Predator.
Yes.
I wonder if he was mad because they finally he's the Predator, but they don't even name this one after him.
That's true.
Did I mention that before?
I don't think you did.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering that. It's like, I'm the Predator in the Predator. No, sorry, it's not. You're not
Prey.
the title character anymore.
This movie's crazy. I love it so much. It was a Hulu original. Came out
Should have been
Hulu.
in theaters. Crowd would have gone crazy
Yes.
multiple times.
Absolutely. It's on Hulu right now. If you have a Hulu subscription, you can watch it, but I assume you can rent it other places
You can
too.
also get it on physical media.
You can.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I have the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has a lot of really cool stuff on it.
No Predator commentary.
No, it does have a commentary from the director
Right.
and the main girl, Amber,
She's so good.
and some other people on it. And it's got deleted scenes. It's got some behind-the-scenes stuff that's really cool that also Dane had not seen.
Wow.
And we watched it while he was here. We watched some of the behind-the-scenes stuff
Right.
with him after we watched the movie.
How awkward would it have been if when he got here, his commentary was just clicking noises?
Thank God that didn't happen.
No, it didn't. He had great stories.
He did.
I didn't know that. Well, he'll explain it, but I didn't know that he wasn't the main Predator when it started. And then he became.
Things changed. They also shot it during COVID, so it's very much like hearing how a big movie like this got made during COVID. I mean, luckily, a lot of it was outside.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no inside at this time.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I think that definitely helped them while they were making it at
Right.
that time, you know?
Most lovable dog performance in years?
Most lovable Predator performance in years.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess so. He's a likable Predator. I'm trying to think of, well, no, the last Predator was actually kind of a good guy.
I don't know. Are any of them lovable?
I kind of like the Danny Glover one.
Sure.
I like that they give him a weapon for winning at the end.
Uh-huh.
They were like, so that's nice of them.
Uh-huh.
Also, in one of the Predator Alien movies, you were rooting for the Predator.
Yeah.
So maybe that why it's more.
Well,
likable?
in the Predator Alien movies, no matter who wins, we lose.
Oh, don't even get me started on those.
Those movies are crazy too.
Bad.
But crazy.
Yeah, I don't like the second one.
The first one is not
no,
terrible.
first one's fun.
Yeah.
But it was PG.
It's not.
Yeah, it was PG-13.
Really?
Absolutely, and there's no gore in it. But the second one was R.
Yeah. I was always more of an Alien guy than a Predator guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I enjoyed the first Predator and Prey more than any Alien movie.
Interesting.
I really do. Maybe Aliens I like more.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first Alien movie I ever saw was Alien 3.
I like Alien 3.
I really like Alien 3.
I'm a known Alien 3 defender.
Me too. I love it. I didn't know that the deaths in the beginning of it were bad because I didn't know the characters.
Sure.
But then I saw I'm like, oh yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's well done.
Yeah, it is.
And Rock's in it. Charles S. Dutton.
Yes.
I love him in everything. So.
The Alien 3 assembly cut, it's really good. And Fincher didn't have anything to do with it. I can't believe we're talking about this now.
Okay.
Didn't have anything to do with it because he had such a bad time making the movie.
Right.
But they went through and they reconstructed what his vision of it
Wow.
was going to be.
Right.
And it adds a lot of stuff. So it sort of slows down the pace a little bit.
That's fine.
But I think it's more interesting than what came out
I
in
really
theaters.
like the theatrical
Yeah.
too, though.
Yeah.
It has one of the most iconic shots in movies is the alien right up against her head.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Mhm.
It doesn't get a good rap. It's very good though.
But we're here today to talk about Prey.
I love Prey. I love Prey more than Alien 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. What number Predator movie would this be? This would be, there's 3 Predators and 2 Alien and Predator, so there'd be 6. The 6th Predator movie, but the 4th. There's 5 Predator. Look, let's start over. How many Predator movies are there?
There's 5, right?
Predator, Predator 2, Predators, The Predator, and then
Yeah.
Prey. Yeah, you're right. Without the alien, there's 2
Yeah.
more. So this is
5.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And they're coming out with 2 new ones.
Yes.
Amazing.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah. I don't think Dane's in that.
I don't think so either.
And if he is, he's good at, not telling us things.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he is.
What a wild twist that would be.
Well, Predators are good at being sneaky.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Famously.
Yeah, they're invisible sometimes. Do the Predator impression that you do. I love it. Oh, my God. It's like he's in the room with me. So enjoy Prey. get it queued up on Hulu
or on your Blu-ray.
Or I think it's on Amazon as well. You can buy it or rent it. And then press pause right at the beginning and then unpause it.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
So Brian, we're here with Dane DiLiegro,
I see him.
star of Prey. How are you, Dane?
I'm good. This is interesting. You picked the one guy of the movie who's only in it for 12 minutes.
Yeah. And that means we have plenty of time to get to know you.
Plenty of
outside
time
those
to talk.
12.
There's going to be plenty of scenes where I wasn't involved. I wasn't even there.
But you can guess what happened.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I was probably off like chasing a horse or something.
Well, were you there for the whole shoot?
No, they had already been shooting for 2 weeks by the time I got there. I had a 2-week quarantine in Calgary at the Marriott Residence Inn. Oh, beautiful show. Jeff Cutter, our DP.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. Worked with Dan on 10 Cloverfield Lane. These are gorgeous. Watch this be stock footage, and I'm totally wrong. No, but this is. I recognize all of this. This village they built here was unbelievable. So I got there. I had to sit in a hotel room for 2 weeks. I was crying at movies you're not supposed to cry at.
What?
I don't even remember. I was emailing old girlfriends. I sent
because this was deep COVID, right?
This
when
was 2021.
Okay, so I guess
Summer, creeping
Shots
into
had
summer.
happened,
Yeah, I
maybe.
emailed Justin Trudeau asking him for a pardon, telling him what's going on here. No response.
his loss.
But
What did you email your ex-girlfriends? Just like guess who's
like,
Predator?
I'm so sorry. Like I'm sorry I was an asshole.
Sure.
At like. So I'm stuck in this hotel room for 2 weeks, and I would escape. I would sneak out at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. The Marriott Residence Inn is a 35-story building in the middle of Calgary. I would walk up and down the stairs twice. So that's 70 steps. And then I'd go up and down the stairs on all fours twice to stay in shape. Granted, I'm going into this movie, didn't know what was going to happen.
Were you able to use the gym in the hotel or anything? Or
No.
you were
No, you're in there.
So did you bring anything with you in the hotel room?
They gave me a bike, like a
recumbent bike.
and some weights.
Wow.
But I had like a yoga mat, and that was it. But the stairs are what kept me in great shape.
How did this come about? Like, did you know anyone from the production? I know they found you on Free Guy. That was where you first, not this movie, but
my career started with Free Guy. I was called to be a stand-in while I was home in Boston just training for the next season of basketball. And I got a phone call from Boston Casting because a few years prior I had answered a newspaper ad for Slender Man.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I sent in a tape of me doing some goofy stuff. It was the worst audition tape. It'll go out one day. It'll go out. And so they called me. You're the tallest guy we know. We need you as a stand-in for this Ryan Reynolds movie we're doing. And I said, sure. I hung up the phone. I Googled, what is a stand-in? And so I go to set. I had no idea what I was doing. And we were in Weymouth, Massachusetts. And we were on location. And you had to walk across this giant parking lot to get to Video Village. And the producers came up and go, who are you? We were just watching you from a distance. And I go, I'm Dane. I'm the stand-in for, Dude 2.0. They go, oh, it's so funny. We were watching you, and from afar, you look normal. And we didn't recognize who you were, so we were trying to figure out who you were. But now you're here. You're the size of a door. This is really interesting, and you're proportionate, and you have a you have a good look. You should look into acting because most people your height are really stretched out or look strange. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And the stunt coordinator had overheard him and was like, "Do you want to know your way in?" He's like, you need to be a creature actor. A creature what? He's like, there's like a couple guys in Hollywood that play all the monsters in film and television, and it's terrible, horrible work. It's hot inside, and you have to move well and be strong and be a pro athlete. And then you are on these big productions, and you meet producers and directors, and then you meet James Gunn, and he puts you in his movies. That's how James Gunn had cast all of his friends and his brother in his movies. It's great. So, interesting. So I was going to the next week to LA anyway to pitch a culinary travel television show, which is a whole other story.
You're a triple threat.
Yeah. Well, when I was playing professional basketball, I wanted to host travel television revolving around food. So I was going to LA to pitch the show, and I got in touch with some producers, and I ended up booking a Netflix show that shot in Korea within a week of looking into acting.
It's crazy.
So now I'm looking at apartments in LA for, temporary apartments for 1 month, 2 months. And I went to Korea to shoot this Netflix show called Sweet Home.
Sure.
And I played this mutated bodybuilder guy.
And people should look up photos of this because
The
it's
visuals
insane. If
disturbing.
you have
Yeah.
not seen the show,
Protein is insane. Korean horror is amazing. It's this melodramatic, unbelievable. The effects were amazing. Like, I read the webtoons. It was, oh my God, this is like,
here he comes.
the title sequence here is so good. Look at the like just everything.
Yeah.
The effects were so good in this film.
And
The
primarily
electricity.
practical stuff too.
Yes.
as much as it could be.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
There
I'm
it
getting
is.
goosebumps.
It's crazy.
I'm getting goosebumps seeing
What's so
this.
cool about that too is it went for a really long time before you knew it was a Predator movie. So you just get involved with her, and then
Dan wanted to market it as just another adventure movie.
Oh,
I
that'd be
wish.
amazing.
I would love it if more movies did that.
Yep.
And I don't know if it either got out or, the mouse didn't want that or whatever, but like Dan is so good for Easter eggy, like these little deep cut things, guerrilla marketing, whatever. He's so smart. I thought it was the greatest idea, but for whatever reason they couldn't do it. It's interesting because essentially this isn't really a Predator film.
Which kind of rules.
That's I think what makes it so good.
Yes.
Right.
There just happens to be it's Naru's story. There just happens to be a Predator in it. It
Right.
almost could have worked with like a Sasquatch.
Some of the coolest movies are X, but there happens to be an X in
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Like
I would say this is the only one other than the first Predator where that happens. Like the first movie is an action movie where a Predator just enters it, and then this one does it even better.
This is you look at some of the other and they're jamming the IP down your throat.
Yes.
And you're like, I get it, and then it gets compared to the first one of whatever it is, and it's never the same.
you got to do something different.
And this is
It's
like,
different.
It's just so smart. It's so, oh my God. And the music here, we can't hear it, but Sarah Schachner, who did oh my God, I can
beautiful.
hear it. I can hear the violins. I can hear the
Yeah.
strings and the drums. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I wasn't here for any of this stuff. That looks so good. And it's funny, if you watch The Last of Us, who was shooting when we were there, they stole all of our.
Oh, that's really
background.
funny. So you guys
it's
were
the same.
were you
we
guys
were the two
near-
big productions in Calgary at the time. But anyway, so long story short, so Muscle Monster happens. I'm in LA. The pandemic happens. I come back from Korea, did a good job. Pandemic happens. Now I can't go back to professional basketball. I'm stuck in LA. I decide to pursue acting. Cutting out a lot of stuff for brevity. Alec Gillis, the legendary Alec Gillis from who was at Stan Winston's studio, worked on Pumpkinhead, most of the Alien films. Also worked on Romulus. Reached out to me on Instagram, was like, "Hey, dude, we need you to come in as the design reference guy for this project we're working on in Canada." I said, "Yeah, sure. What's the creature?" He said, "Well, it's bipedal. I want you to bring a balletic sveltness to this character." Okay, what is it? I can't tell you, but we'll pay you $200 to come in. I said, save your $200, put me in for this role. I want the role. I don't care what it is.
Wow.
And he goes, well, you're a bad spend. You're LA based. We're shooting in Canada, tax relief, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, all right, whatever. So I go in and there's the Predator costume from The Predator 2018 on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I go, this is fucking, can I swear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Say whatever you want.
Fucking Predator.
Yeah.
He goes, it is. So Dan comes in, Jeff Cutter comes in, Marty Ewing, the great Marty Ewing.
Did they have you sign anything?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. It's panda. So weird because they had like a garage door in this creature shop, and Dan and they couldn't even come in. Like legally, they had to stay outside. So I put this costume on. They had a 3D printed version of the head with ropes as the dreads.
Wow.
And they were just like, do your interpretation of this character, and I did. And I jumped up on the table, and for me, it was like very panther-y, feline.
Right.
Very calculated steps and natural, smooth. And, then they had me, it's like you're going back to the garbage bag test from Alien back in the day at Stan Winston. And, I'm running through the parking lot outside this creature shop in this, and, how tall are you? I go, well, I'm 6'8". And they're like, 6'8", that's what we're, and I'm like, wow, please. Like, I will kill to be your predator.
Right.
I
Which is
will
what they need you to do.
Seriously. Predators, it was number 2 on my list for what I wanted to be in terms of non-human characters. And I like, please, Grant. Now, at the time, nothing. I think Sweet Home had come out. That was it. That's all I had.
Okay.
So you have, L.A. being a bad spend. My lack of credits. Alec Gillis didn't really know me that well, so he wasn't going to put his neck on the line. And so Marty Ewing, they worked together, and they made me the stunt double.
Oh wow!
Which I was so grateful for, and which tells me there's going to be, 2 predators. There's going to be a stunt head, an animatronic head, blah, blah, blah. So I went to mime school. I studied mime.
Where did you go to mime school?
There is a mime school called the Mime Theater Studio run by a guy named Lauren Eric Salm. It is literally across the street from Universal Studios in a green building.
Wow. Wow.
I believe it's on Ventura.
Huh.
Okay.
And I studied mime with this guy, Lauren. He's unbelievable.
Uh-oh. Now, we have a thing on this show, and I forgot to tell you this.
Okay.
When the person who we're doing the commentary with shows up on screen, they have to say, hey, that's me.
Okay. This is like, there I am. Oh, this is like the total Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, that's the goal. There he is.
There
Look
he
at
is.
that.
Look, by the way, practical shot right there.
Really?
Wow.
And now, remember that background?
Yeah.
We're going to see that background again later.
Okay.
Wow.
Believe it or not. And most people don't notice that.
Okay.
So anyway, I studied all these things, not Amber's hands.
Yes.
That's her stunt double.
Interesting.
That was a reshoot in the Disney Ranch right there in Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
That's not Amber.
Oh, that's so
Tammy
funny.
Nara, her stunt double. We shot that like 6 months later.
I mean, those shots are so good too, though.
You
know
don't
what
even
I mean?
notice
Like
it.
you have no idea.
Don't even notice it.
Now I know.
Yeah.
And Amber that axe was her best friend. She always had that thing on her. So I studied all these things for 2 months in preparation of this film, and I get there and I'm the stunt double, and I do my 2-week quarantine,
Right.
and I'm gonna cut some more stuff out, but after the first day of shooting, I ended up replacing the guy they hired to play the Predator. I was only supposed to be in a few scenes, and I ended up doing all of it for 100 days, and all the acting, all the stunts, all the motion capture.
100 days?
Well, we were there for 100 days.
Wow.
Right.
That's still a long shoot.
It's a long shoot. It was a long
Yeah.
shoot. It was like really hot when we started, and then when we finished in September, it was starting to get cold in the nights. But yeah, and when I got that phone call, you're the Predator now. It was cool. But there's this funny thing, like you wake up in the morning and you're like, you're so used to, your brain, like, I'm a human, and there's that 5 seconds of like, and then I'm the fucking Predator.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm the Predator.
Yeah.
I still
And
can't
no one
believe
can
it
take
now.
that away
No
from
one
you.
can- Well, we were shooting, yes, but like, even now, it still doesn't feel real that I got to be this iconic character. But it's pretty. We're like, I wonder how many people in the world would like literally like kill a person for this job, But yeah, it just incredible, So my job went from a couple scenes to this entire film, being number 3 on the call sheet.
And it changed your life.
It changed my life, and I was happy to come in and lend a hand and help them out. There were some issues before, and for me to come in and help out was I'm glad I could be there for them, and working with Dan and Jeff and everyone was
Can you tell us what it was like the first time you put it on? The one in the movie?
the full. Yeah, I mean, it's funny when they suited me up for the first time to like kind of show Dan my version. See, this is funny. If you notice the ethos of like evolution here, where Dan is showing us the chain of command in terms of like being a predator, showing it's a game. Yeah.
Now, are you doing motion capture for this right here?
I did not do that.
Okay.
I think that was computer. That was most of it
Maybe I did do that. There was a day I had to go to a free running academy, this like padded facility, and run and jump and bounce off walls and flip and walk and turn and whip my head and do every slash, it was like all video game stuff. So yeah, I mean, that was all me. When he's cloaked, yeah, there's a couple versions of him. When I put the suit on for the first time, I'll never forget it. I was driving up in Canada, they call base camp Circus.
Okay.
And I was driving up from Circus to set, and they were going to do the show and tell with Dan, with me in the costume. And I was in the van with the legendary Tom Woodruff, who played Pumpkinhead, who, you know, was
Alien,
in
at least
Alien,
once,
was
yeah.
a zookeeper. You know, he's been so many things, and he's
Also nominated for an Oscar.
Nominated for an Oscar.
Twice in
Yeah.
the same year.
yeah,
Wow.
Death
For
Becomes Her.
Alien 3 and Death Becomes Her.
Wow.
Like a real crazy career.
So, and he goes, "Hey, I got a good piece of advice for you." And I'm thinking like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
Yeah.
The legendary Tom Woodruff about to give me a great piece of advice here. Turn your toes in; it'll make you look more animalistic. Some whatever,
Oh, wow. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And he goes, "You know what would really be great for you?" I go, "What?" He goes, "If you just shut the fuck up." What? Excuse me? What? When you're doing a show and tell to a director, to production, you never want to break character.
Wow.
You are in character before they see you, and you are in character until after they see you. If you show an inch of human to them, it ruins it. So as soon as I hopped out of that van, I was already doing the breathing, the shoulders. I was walking like this thing. I was fully locked into it. You don't want them to see you as a human.
Reading a newspaper.
Right, exactly. Yeah, as Jason. That was part 3, Friday the 13th, part 3. The picture of Jason with the axe in his head. Maybe it might have been part 4. And so yeah, but it was just so funny. Like, yeah. It would be great if you just shut the fuck up. Like, thank you, Tom. Tom Woodruff, great for sound advice right there. I appreciate it.
How much difference was there between the 2018 costume and this costume?
2018 costume had shrunk.
Oh,
Foam latex shrinks over
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Now on this film we had 6 suits and we had 4 heads, and they were all super tight because the suits I was wearing was essentially made for the guy that I ended up replacing, and he was a lot skinnier than me. So like, you know, my hands would be puffy by the end of the day because, you know, my circulation's getting cut off at my wrists. I mean, you know, you're sweating all day and yeah, the suit's getting heavier and heavier and heavier as the day goes on. Foam latex is a sponge.
Sure.
And yeah, that head weighed 15 pounds. It was a whole ordeal. The difference between 2018 Predator was you could see with your eyes.
In yours.
No.
Oh,
in
in
the
the
Predator.
2018. Oh,
that
wow.
was just
Okay.
the actor's eyes.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
one,
wow.
my head was in the neck of this
Oh,
character,
interesting.
and I had a 15-pound animatronic head on top of my head. So in order for the Predator to look forward, I had to like do this weird haunch and shrug my shoulders and look at my feet. That's just to make the Predator look forward. And
So
look
you're
normal.
seeing through the neck?
Yeah, I'm looking through 2 tiny holes in the neck at my feet.
Okay.
How do you do action when you can't see?
You lay sticks on the ground. I was following sticks on the
Oh my
ground and a
God.
lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
And I also had this thing is great.
Mm-hmm.
This snake is still in Alec Gillis's shop.
That's cool.
Dave Pennicus. Oh my God.
Ugh.
And I believe, I might be wrong, the same mechanics were used for the chest burster in Romulus, that
Romulus.
are
Oh,
in
really?
that snake.
I saw that video. Have you seen the video of
Oh,
the
yeah.
chest bursters?
Yeah.
Where they're showing like you move
But
your
I
arms?
think literally the same
Wow.
mechanics, the same wires that were in that snake are also
Oh,
in the
that's
chest
cool.
burster in Rom. I could be wrong.
I guess you figure out what works, and then
And
you're
yeah,
like,
of
we're
course,
going to
you
reuse
just
this.
adjust.
You know?
And that chest burster in Romulus,
cool.
had some really good face time.
Yes.
Um,
So the head weighs 15 pounds.
head weighs 15 pounds. Yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, I had to really strengthen my neck leading up to this production, and you can't see anything. There was a scene, didn't make it into the film. I'll remind you later when the scene was, but I was running after Amber through the woods. There was an entire chase scene of her running and jumping from limb to limb and branches, and I'm chasing it. And I was so terrified of this scene, at the parkour academy that I trained at. I'm like running and jumping on balance beams and across bars and stuff. I'm like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this is going to work. It's funny, when we wrapped, I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. I haven't seen a damn thing for 100 days.
A lot of
I have no
surprises.
idea what this movie looks like. So
Go ahead. No. Well, I was going to ask the director keep you away from the rest of the actors because they wanted.
no,
to be
they
scared
had
of you.
seen the other guy already.
Okay.
It wasn't. No.
Yeah.
They saw it. That would be. I know it. Yeah. I've heard of them doing that.
Right.
But they saw it. Also, the lighting in this film, amazing.
Yes.
It feels natural in
Yes.
a cool way.
It's primal,
Yeah.
using the flames, but the way they, some of the scenes where there isn't a flame and they're just getting light to bounce off, Amber Dakota's face, like right here. Yeah. Oh, so good. By the way, also freezing at nighttime. Sure. These dudes are shirtless.
Yeah, middle of the woods.
And then during the middle of the day, it's hot as hell. And in Calgary, there are flies everywhere in the summertime. So you're getting bombarded by these flies. Dakota, all of them. I mean, they like true warriors. It was. I wouldn't want to be out there with no shirt on.
How far are you? Excuse me. How far are you actually from civilization?
About an hour from
Oh, wow.
Calgary.
Okay.
Yeah, every day we get in the van.
So the hotel's an hour out.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
This was shot on a reservation,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And this tree. I remember this. And it was. We were in the cut. We weren't quite in Banff, but we were on the way.
Sure.
We were on the way there.
Had you spent time in Canada before?
Not extensively.
Yeah.
Not like this. So, yeah, this part, I remember they were lining up for this, and I went to go lie down next to them. I didn't realize they were lining up the shot, and they were like, "What?
Hey, fellas.
Why is the predator here? Get the fuck out of the shot!" I was like, "Oh, so sorry." When they get into the tree, we shot that outside a sound stage. They built this tree, and there was all blue screen around. And I think our assistant stunt coordinator, I forget his name, the guy, I think doubled Nightcrawler in the X-Men movie,
Cool.
I believe. And they had him wear a gray suit, gray pajamas to be the cat.
Oh, okay.
But I think our stunt coordinator kind of fucked with him. Was like, "Hey, we got to paint kitty whiskers on your face."
Sure.
So when he was up there crawling, they had a black nose and whiskers on his face just to fuck with
That's
him.
amazing.
A lot of the other guys who are part of the party here, I didn't I forget his name, Paca, but I it might not be Paca. I don't know. I wasn't really around a lot of the guys who were, because they had finished all the village stuff
Before you
just
got
as
there.
I was starting.
Okay. Did you get to talk to any of the other guys besides Alec and Tom who had either been the Predator or worked on Predator stuff, or have you since the movie?
Yes, since
Yeah.
I spoke to Brian. Oh my God! Wait, I'm blanking now. This is so embarrassing. We're live. Brian, he was the Predator in the Predator. Wait, why am I
All
blanking?
stall. So she's about to shoot someone with an arrow.
Yes.
Wait,
There's
So
the
good.
cat. There's the
Put the name
cat.
in right here.
Yeah.
let me see this.
I mean, this scene is so cool. Just being able to balance on that tree is very
Yeah,
impressive.
so that
this a
that
real
was the
tree?
guy crawling on all fours
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
His name is
As-
Brian Prince.
Brian Prince, that's right. Yes,
Great.
he's a 6'10" parkour artist. He's
Wow. Oh my
unbelievable. He's
gosh.
also a great. He does unbelievable animations.
Yeah.
Really?
Illustrator. And I've spoke to him since. I've never met him
Mm-hmm.
in real life, but so good. I
You
always
guys think
wondered.
you'd fight though.
I
if
always
you
wondered what those lights were in the background. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah.
that was the laser discs or what.
Oh, sure.
I never knew what that was that distracted her.
I mean, you probably could ask someone.
Probably, but
Of
yeah,
anybody. I
yeah,
feel like.
yeah. Not it's tough. My asks now are
Yeah.
are limited at this point. But
yes. You said this was the number 2 non-human creature.
oh, Jason Voorhees, not even close.
Okay.
Jason Voorhees, hands down.
Yeah.
It's not even remotely a question.
Now, we heard about this. We heard you talk
Yeah.
about this in an interview.
Because when Entertainment Weekly was talking to me about this movie, I decided to make it a point to just talk about Jason Voorhees the entire time. And the title of that article was "Your New Predator Also Wants to Be the Next Jason Voorhees," and I was like, whoever has the next Friday the 13th, whatever,
Sure.
I'm sending
You're
this
the guy.
to them
Yeah.
as proof of how badly I want to do
course.
this. Yeah.
Now Brian's a writer.
I'm a screenwriter.
He's a screenwriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian, do you want to talk about
I
what?
would love to. I heard that you wanted to be Jason, and I've never seen the Friday the 13th movies, so I can only assume what kind of character Jason is.
He's a vessel of destruction.
Gotcha. I figured that. So I wrote a scene that I thought maybe we could do.
No way.
Yeah.
do this?
So you could. I think this is how
Jason
Jason is.
speaking?
Yeah. I mean.
Okay.
That's what he does, right?
No, he doesn't speak.
No,
He's
I'm sure he
nonverbal.
speaks. I'm sure he speaks.
Well,
He's
in this
nonverbal.
one,
You play Jason.
Yeah.
Patrick, you're going to be the athletic boyfriend. Okay. And I'll read the stage directions.
great. All right, let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
Amber and Dakota are going to have to wait for right
Yeah,
now while
sorry.
we do this. Yeah.
Interior Camp Crystal Lake cabin night. A buxom camp counselor and her athletic boyfriend have finished hooking up. They hear something outside.
Did you hear that? It sounded like a very large man outside holding maybe scissors. No, wait, a machete. I'm gonna go outside and make sure it's not a serial killer.
With that, Jason Voorhees, a 6'9" killer in a hockey mask, clutching a machete, walks in.
Hey guys, sorry to say, I am the serial killer. My name is Jason Voorhees. You might remember me as the shy kid who drowned a while back. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm here to kill you. It's nothing personal. You seem cool, but it's just a thing I do. You know, don't talk me out of it. I'm pretty dead set on doing it.
Jason sees a basketball on the ground, picks it up, and dunks it in the net that happens to be in the cabin.
Swish, 2 points.
Jason high fives a buxom camp counselor and athletic boyfriend, and then stabs them.
Wow.
So I put in your basketball background.
Yeah, that's good.
As part of it.
All right,
You
so
get
we'll-
the part.
I don't know if swish is the right word after a dunk, but like,
Oh yeah.
sure.
Look, I don't know Jason. I don't know
If you want to
sports.
do some punch up, I guess now's the time.
we're gonna send this to the studio.
I'm
and
pretty
see what
dead
they
set
think.
on that dialogue, guys.
James Wan's gonna do a pass at this.
Anyway, I hope you like it. I hope that gets you the part.
and scene. That was great.
Patrick, you were really good too.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
very-
Happily, I'll take any
Future as
job.
the athletic
yeah. Not an actor, but I'll take it.
I disagree.
matter of fact, Jason. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how he is in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
He just likes to let people know I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Is the head loud? Or
The head is
servo's
loud. You hear.
Yeah.
zzz.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. You know, you're lining up for your shot. You're getting ready, and you see the dreads come down. The dreads are hanging there, and then they go. You know, Rich Cowan, our great AD, who's essentially an air traffic controller. Ready and you know the scene. When we get into the fight scene in the burnt glade, you know, we're waiting on smoke. They say don't work with children or animals. Don't work with smoke either outside. It's terrible. Ready and you hear and it turns on and you hear okay, now it's game time.
Right.
These animatronics are on, and they are loud. There was one day where it short circuited and burned the back of my neck.
Wow.
And there was like smoke. It felt like bees were stinging the back of my neck. And I was like kind of like shrugging to give the bees space.
Sure.
And I hear Rich who's in my ear with his God mic. You know, I go, is he on fire?
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Oh,
am I
no.
on fire? And then all of a sudden I put my head back and all this smoke went into my mouth and you have to unscrew it
Sure.
to take the head off and unzip it and unsnap it. It's a whole process. And yeah, that was my monster bar mitzvah.
You're
My head
the
got
last
burned.
guy who wants to hear that too, because there's nothing you could do.
Yeah,
about
the
it.
last thing you want to hear is he on fire?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, am I standing in the fire pit? What's going on here? Yeah, that was quite. I still have the thing that short circuited.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a day.
Did they do adjustments on the costume for you when you took over, or did they just say it's close enough?
They
Took it
hooked
out a little or
some
something?
foam out to give me
Okay.
more space.
Yeah.
We had skull caps that were made for our heads, so when I absorbed the other person's costumes, they had to swap my skull caps in and out of these other heads. But no, I then we had a suit for the mud pit. We had a suit for all different situations. For fighting, we had a hero suit. We had all different things. So, yeah,
I can't wrap my head around. You said sticks, so you knew where to walk.
sure.
But when you have to fight and
Choreography.
and throw a fist though, and you can't see or hear,
Yeah.
you could take out the lead.
And yeah,
by
you can.
accident.
And in a fight scene, the further down you get on the call sheet, the more your fault it is if you hit the other person.
Sure. Yeah.
So like if Amber decided she just wanted to get hit this scene and I hit her, it's
leads
my
into it.
fault. It's completely my fault.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified. I'm swinging these blades at her. I'm swinging the shield at her. You know, with Dakota in our fight scene, that combi stick, we had a stunt version, but you get hit. That thing is serious. It's not,
How much stunt time did you do with them beforehand versus either stunt doubles or
No,
whatever?
I didn't.
Like,
there was no pre-camp for me.
it was-
I was
Oh,
you
wow.
were
jumped
just
right
on
into it.
Oh wow.
I love this shot right here, Jeff. What he did of her going against the current, this overhead shot. Just the message that it sends of what Naru's kind of mission here is and what's driving her. Because you have everyone kind of going with society, going with like the norms of right here. Oh, amazing!
It's amazing.
What this shot means, so good, and just the use of nature. Look at that.
It's just crazy.
That is gorgeous.
When you're there looking at all this stuff, are you like, I know this is gonna look rad as hell, like, or is it
Yes.
something that when you watch it, you're like, holy shit, I
No,
know
we
it
were
was
there.
beautiful.
I was like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
All the rolling hills, everything.
Yeah.
Look at Amber's doing a lot of walking in this movie.
Yeah.
It's great. And action, and she's just walking through a field.
The blood on set, is it really that color, or is that
This is actually
CG
called the
enhanced?
spiky stump. This was supposed to be play a bigger part in the movie. They cut it out. That's a fake tree.
What was supposed to happen at the spiky stump?
It was supposed to fall on it after the chase scene out of the trees. I could be wrong. And if you look, this actually is 5 feet away from the mud pit.
Oh, wow.
If you This stump is in the back of the final battle.
Oh,
at the end
interesting.
of the movie.
Huh.
Yeah. The mud pit is 10 feet in front of her.
That's amazing.
Believe it or not.
The mud pit was. I guess we should save that and
We'll
talk
save
about it
that.
once we
We'll
get
save
there.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This was all shot in Santa Clarita at the Disney Ranch.
Oh wow.
No, not at the Disney Ranch. This was part of the reshoots. They brought in real wolf hybrids.
my
Talk about authenticity. Those were like real ass wolves they brought in. With trainers and everything, and all the sprinting scene, they had like an SUV chasing this wolf dog through. Yes,
They're
this
right
is
there. Wow.
the bunny is what it is, but this wolf dog was really sprinting, and they were like blowing a whistle. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
Got him. So anytime you see the Predator fully cloaked, I'm
Yes.
wearing gray pajamas
Okay.
with these kind of like dots.
But you're there.
I'm there. Yeah,
You're,
that's actually
That's
me.
not on a stage somewhere.
No. That's me standing there in a gray, and they just said, just mock him. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get down. I'm going to get on all fours. I'm going to see how he reacts to what I'm doing. I'm just kind of feeling him out. I'm kind of absorbing this other competitor of mine because he's hunting and I'm also hunting. Okay, now it's game on. But we got this little standoff / there's something about eviscerating a dog
Yeah.
in a Disney movie. It's a wolf.
It is what they let you do it though.
Yeah.
You know?
Practical head.
Oh wow.
Like, I wanted to keep that thing so bad. That's really me standing there, like doing
Holding
that.
that. That's amazing.
Iconic moment.
Is it
The bunny
I don't,
lived.
I don't I don't want to say scary working with a wolf dog like that. But is it intimidating?
No,
No, because he's an actor.
I trust.
Yeah.
I trust everyone on
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
It's not a wild animal. That was a
Sure.
trained animal, but those things were as real as it gets. Coco the dog, my goodness.
He was like the internet loved Coco when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Fell in love with Coco.
I tried to make an International Coco Day on August 4th, the
Oh.
day before the movie came out. Coco was unbelievable. There was actually 3 dogs that played SETI, mostly Coco. And I believe it was a Carolina dog or something like that. I also heard that this dog was rescued on a
Wow.
on a reservation. I could be wrong.
Did the other two have specialties?
One was a dog that was really good at jumping off people's backs.
Uh-huh.
And then another dog was really good at running.
Uh-huh.
I believe. I also could be
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Don't quote me on
Yeah.
that. But yeah, Coco was a ball of energy. Not there. Don't work with children animals.
Sure.
Right.
That's a thing.
It's correct. Yeah.
It's a thing for a reason, especially when you're outside. There's a lot of stimulus, but
Oh,
Coco
sure.
did a great job. Her trainer was great. There were a couple moments where screaming at Coco in my head, but you can't yell at Coco, you know.
Now I was on a movie set with a
So
lot
look
of
at
dogs.
the background here.
Oh wait.
It's the same background as when I stood up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
When the ship
interesting.
takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shot that on the same day at that same location.
In the same spot.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I never would have noticed that.
Yeah, that was crazy. We were like on the side of a cliff. We had production. Only certain people could go down where we were shooting on this little slant here. These rocks were really slippery. We were like way in the cut here. This was like kind of in the mountains.
I assume it's
it was a fun day.
It's hard to work on a reservation or something like that because you obviously
Look at
don't want to fuck up the landscape at all.
Yeah,
you
no.
know?
Right.
I don't know if this was on a reservation. This might have been in the national park. Wow. But look at that. That is completely real and practical. There's nothing made up about
Nothing
this
had to
shot.
be removed from that shot.
No.
Oh, that's amazing.
This was they made a cave at the Disney Ranch
Oh,
in
wow.
Santa Clarita.
So they did a lot of shooting there.
We
at the
did a lot
ranch.
of reshoots.
Yeah,
There were
yeah,
a good
yeah.
amount of reshoots.
But this scene is so cool. Like you
This
can't,
scene's
you know.
unbelievable.
stuff
This was
like
the
this is-
poster when
Yeah.
we stood up and faced outside.
Yeah.
But they had like real water dripping. The set design, everything was unbelievable. I have that skull. Yeah, I do.
What else did you take from the set?
I took a bunch of his dreads. Yeah.
Okay.
Other things I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Dan has one of the net balls, which is I think is the coolest.
That's great.
But that's another real practical cave. We're back in Calgary here.
Had you seen Dan's stuff beforehand? Like, had you seen 10
Oh yeah,
Cloverfield Lane?
Oh
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I saw his portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It's a lot of guys got their start on YouTube. Fede Alvarez, that video he made with the robots. Andy Muschietti made Mama. That was on
The Talk to Me
YouTube.
guys.
Yes, yes. Danny and Michael, good friends of mine. These buffalo were incredible. They made 3 of these at Alex's shop, and then they just put the rest of them in a field. There were only 3.
Oh wow.
But the fake blood they used had sugar in it, so
Oh, wow.
the flies,
flies
and
are
the
real?
bees you're seeing
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
very real. It was covered in bees.
I mean, it just adds so much to the movie knowing that those are real. And, like,
Yeah.
you can really, like, feel it by looking at it, being like, that's fucking gross.
Yeah,
You know? Like,
no,
it's-
for real,
it is.
for real. And
That's that's in the best way possible because it's supposed to be gross. It's like,
Absolutely.
you know.
absolutely. And Amber having to know all of her lines in
Yeah, in Comanche.
Yeah, that's
That was-
no
I-
easy task.
I rewatched this weekend and watched it in Comanche, and it's an insane experience. Like, it's a
Yeah.
crazy, different experience. So if people haven't done that, they should
Breezy 90
definitely watch
minutes.
it. Yes.
Real breezy
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Well, there's not a ton of dialogue too,
Sure.
you know, which is helpful.
Sure. So I believe initially she was supposed to get the musket ball out of the hole in its head,
Oh, that's cool.
but they switched that up.
Did you do any of the predator noises on set?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you make noise while you were in it though?
I would like when I was like roaring and stuff like that. So I'm wearing blue actually right here. I don't know why they had me in a blue costume. Maybe because of the water. You wouldn't believe how many times it took us to get the step down. Yeah. So this is the mud pit. The spiky stump is like you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Do they, when you're cloaked, do they shoot it twice? Do they shoot it without you
Yeah,
and
they
with
do
you?
plate shot.
Yeah.
Plate shot afterwards for sure. Because they have to put behind me.
Yeah.
So this mud pit is a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how
They dug a hole in the woods.
Wow.
And they filled it with dirt and water, and it was only supposed to be there for like 2 weeks. I think it was there for like 8.
How deep was it?
Oh, it was maybe 4 feet deep.
Oh, okay.
Like above waist level. And this thing stunk.
Yes, I'm sure.
It was so bad. In every shot, they had to reset and put more moss down.
Sure.
Those rocks are fake.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even notice it. It looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Did they have to have it marked off when you guys weren't filming to be like, don't?
Oh yeah, don't
fucking
fall
log
in here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had to do the test I did. I was wearing a scuba mask because to see if I could go fully submerged.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It just smelled. It was the worst smell
Yeah.
ever.
It's just standing water.
Yeah, it was just sitting there. There was no running. Yeah, it was bad. Oh yeah, so I was supposed to pull out the musket ball. That's what it was.
Okay.
Out of the hole in its head.
How much bigger are the gloves than your actual hands?
They weren't that padded. You know, Alec and the team did a great job of keeping them maintained. Oh, I can smell it. I can smell it. It was
What
like
would you compare the smell
rotting
to?
flesh.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was so
like
fast.
sewage.
Yeah, that's so fast.
No question. By the end of it, they were testing it for bacteria. They're like, I'm getting there. There's like white powder. I'm like, what is that? What are you guys putting in there? Methazil. There's all different stuff.
Oh.
Amber did a great job on this day. All of us were there just watching her and throwing this thing as she's slowly sinking and just getting the throws right was definitely very trying. But that mud was cold. It was stinky. It got in every crevice. Oh yeah, she's getting deeper now. It took her a bunch of tries, but she did get it. Like, those are real throws. Those aren't CG. She's really throwing that thing through there. And
when you're wearing the suit and you're in there, is it still getting through the suit?
It's getting
you?
through the suit.
It's getting
100%.
Yeah.
I had to go after rehearsals. There's a river right next to this. And I had to go in the river and wash the suit up myself. No one else wanted to touch it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was tough. Getting the acts to do that was definitely a challenge. But no, it all worked. She's probably, her feet are definitely on the ground for this part.
Uh-huh.
But that mud was like really tough to move in.
How long did it take you to figure out how to get submerged in there? Because that's not 4 feet is not that big.
Yeah.
I'll explain that in a little while. But like, fun fact, I could not get fully submerged because the suit was buoyant. Actually.
Oh wow.
So they had to create a head rig. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk. Whatever. They had to create a
if
head rig.
anyone got this far into it, they deserve to hear it.
Where they just put the head under with these 2 bars, and then they lifted it up, and you can see where they cut to me.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I never actually, during rehearsal, I went head under.
Sure.
And it was terrifying because it would fill up with mud, and I had to close my eyes, and they had to plug my ears, plug my nose. Yeah, I also love the evolution of Amber's like makeup and hair. It's like throughout this, they did a great job.
Do you find wearing, because there's no prosthetics, there's no makeup in this suit.
Correct.
Did you find that harder than wearing full prosthetics, or are the prosthetics more of a pain?
It's heavier.
Yeah.
It only took me 11 minutes to get in.
That's nice.
Wow.
Which was nice. It's just heavier and hotter. Yeah. Prosthetics you can't really escape.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're in it all day.
Sure.
I prefer a suit.
Yeah.
I just like heavier suits, I suppose. Yeah. This was great. This was a really fun day. We were in Banff in the national park for this, right down the street from that mountain shot. That bear is so good.
It's so cool. And this was a guy, correct? There's not a guy standing for the bear?
I know they had like a cutout reference for a bear.
Okay.
During the fight scene, they had a dude in a suit.
Okay.
That they just used as reference. But for these parts, I don't know if there was someone running.
Yeah.
I just love how like battle damaged this bear is.
Yes, he's seen a lot.
He's seen a lot. He's he had his time with Leo and the Revenant. This is where they shot the Revenant also.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, Coco.
Would you go hang out on set even when you weren't filming at all? I guess it's harder with
sometimes
COVID,
when they were on the soundstage, I would go, but I would go for lunch to eat. But no, I wouldn't like go to location. If I had a day off, I was either like working out or exploring. They gave me a car. I would just drive into Banff and get lost on my own with Dakota. It was great.
Do you want to direct or anything? Like I feel like you talk about this in a way where it's like I could see this translating into a director.
I want to write.
Yeah.
I have a writing partner right now. We're working on a couple of things. I think I need to learn more about directing before I dive into something like that. But I do. I would like to. I feel like I have a decent eye for it. That water is glacier water, and it is freezing.
Oh,
wow.
And Amber went right in.
Oh wow.
Like a trooper.
Is that in the river or is that a tank?
We are now on a soundstage outside. We were outside a soundstage somewhere in Calgary for this part. But that was real. Her diving into the river. It was freezing. So this is obviously CG, but the reference was a guy named Kyle who was the special effects guy, 6'8", big dude. I was supposed to be the bear when I was the stunt double for the Predator.
Wow.
When I got promoted, he became the bear.
Huh.
So this around is all blue screen. surrounding this.
Okay. I mean, it looks great.
And for my action in this part, I was in the parkour, like free running academy, and I was like had this big giant pad that I was fighting. But they actually brought in the practical bear from the Revenant that some dude bought. This thing weighed 150 pounds. And they were like, can you lift this over your head? And I was like, yeah, it was so heavy.
Yeah.
It
That's
looked
crazy.
so
That's
real.
such a weird fact
The
that
actual bear from the
Yeah.
Revenant. This is so good. It just punches him in the face. Crack.
Oh.
He just punched a bear in the face. People love this scene. I think it's great. Like the Predator versus a fucking bear.
Yeah.
And I love this reveal. Oh, Jeff.
Man.
In the blood.
And the blood coming down. This is kind of the first reveal that we see him in 3D.
So if in fact Dan got his way and it was never revealed that it was a Predator,
This would have been it.
That would have
would've
been
been
the
it.
moment
That's
where
an amazing
there would have been
reveal.
hints, obviously, but like there's no going back.
Completely. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
That actually was on a sound stage.
Okay.
They had a current going through there. This park was so beautiful.
Look at that.
The I don't know what you call it, the skull mask that's on your
The skull
head.
mask, yeah.
The skull mask.
Sure.
Great. A great guess on my part.
Is that a sign in the background? No, it's not.
How was that attached to the helmet?
Magnets.
Magnets. That's
Well,
it.
no, sorry. When I had it on and off,
Yeah.
it was magnets,
Okay.
but it was just screwed on from the inside. When I was wearing it and it wasn't coming off.
Yeah.
I know she's freezing. Like I know how cold she is, and she was such a trooper.
I mean, she looks cold.
She looks cold. She was cold.
Yeah.
And Amber never really complained ever.
Mhm.
So I got to hand it to her. She did a great job.
Have you gotten to see this with an audience?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
premiered it at Comic-Con.
Oh, great.
We went
Oh,
to
amazing.
Beyond Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't seen this. I haven't watched this movie in so long. There was a stretch where I saw it so many
I'm
times.
sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
I had a screening at a local theater, just like my friends and family. And
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it.
Sure.
Right.
There's only
Once you
so
see
many
it 30 times,
yeah,
you
of
got
course.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, Comic-Con, I cried at the
Yeah,
end.
I'm sure.
It's funny. You watch the Venice Film Festival, 12-minute ovation.
Yeah.
I want to know who's the guy there with the stopwatch. And he
And go.
clicks it shut, and he's like,
And when do you?
"Oh, Joaquin Phoenix is leaving." Oh, I'm gonna stop it. It's like it's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
12.5-minute ovation. We got a super long ovation, but they said make one more. They wanted us to make another one. I'm getting goosebumps. But I remember just looking at Amber during this applause after it ended, and I was like, I was brought to tears. I was like, I was rubble. I was emotional rubble at that point.
It's got to feel so good
It was amazing.
because it
Who the
makes
hell
it
was
all worth
I
it.
before?
Totally,
like,
yeah.
What was I doing? I used to, my first job was a scare actor at Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
that was 5 years ago. But
Okay.
then it was only 2 years before.
Right.
Oh no, a year before I
Wow.
got the Predator.
Who
job.
did you play?
I was in Scare Zone 1.
Okay.
That
was my favorite one.
statue. Yeah, that's right. When you walk in the park with
Right
all
on.
the chainsaw guys. I wasn't a chainsaw guy, but
Okay.
Did you have a weapon or anything?
no,
what
it was just me. I
was
was
just you.
this giant copper oxidized statue costume,
Wow.
and I'd be really still, and people would come up and say, "Is that real?" Because I'm
Sure.
larger, and I'd still, and we're not allowed to take pictures with the crowds, and they would get close, and they hey, take a picture with this guy, and I'm still not moving,
Uh-huh.
and you can see the girlfriend is like kind of nervous, she's kind of inching closer to me, and then iPhones, when it's dark out, that has the pre-flash before the flash.
Yeah.
Every time the pre-flash, and I would just explode and run away and freak everyone out because there'd be a crowd of people poking and prodding, trying to figure out if I'm real or not. That was a lot of fun.
How
Horror
much
Nights.
training did you have to go through for that? Like, do they?
Horror Nights?
Yeah. Do they don't do anything?
No.
It's just like you're on your own.
The people that work there are all walks of life. It's
Sure. Yeah.
people that had just got off shifts at Burger King.
Yeah.
A lot
But I
of
would
theater
assume they would do,
people.
like, one day of like
Yeah.
do this.
They
don't
do
this.
tryouts.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
tryouts.
Okay.
But no, that's grip it and rip it. Halloween Horror Nights. That whole, because you're dealing with 200, 300 people, cast members, scare actors, And there's a lot of safety things going on. There's a lot of, oh man, I used to take people's baby carriages and walk it into the fog in the scare zone, and then come out of the fog and be like, bye. You're not supposed to do
So
that.
that was 2 years before you were the Predator. You were Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So this was my first day on set.
Okay.
This big log.
Is that a real log?
It is partially a real log. You can see there's part of it. It's not. It's padded.
Okay.
But yes, that is a real full ass
That's amazing.
log with some bark added to it.
Cool.
We were here for about a week, 2 weeks maybe.
Wow.
Oh, these guys are so good. That guy on the left his name is Cody Big Tobacco.
Amazing.
He's
Amazing.
a monster. He was perfect. That fucking opossum kept popping up. We couldn't escape that thing.
What made the shoot so long? Was it because it was all exterior stuff?
Yeah, on location, man.
That's
I also don't know. I've never been in another
Yeah, I
$70
guess
million
that's-
movie.
Sure.
Oh yeah, this is the lasers that move. Come on,
Yep.
Dan. It's so good.
They're all amazing. Like their faces are all so good.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
They
The
just
shot with Amber. Oh god,
ugh.
the blood.
Gnarly. Were you a Predator guy growing up at all?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Were you an Alien guy or a Predator guy?
Predator.
Okay.
Yeah. Aliens are great. Sure. Aliens are great, but the Predator special. Predator special, in my opinion.
Did you come up with a backstory for your Predator?
Yep, I did.
Oh, well, what happened? What did you?
He's just a teenager that took his parents' spaceship and went on a joyride
Oh, I like that.
and kind of just ended up on Earth, didn't plan it. And this is like this unrefined, unblooded Yautja kind of processing Earth for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, he has hubris. There, you know, like he's not a true blooded warrior. He's not fully experienced. So like there's a lot of cat and mouse. And that's kind of how she got the best of him ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And
that gave her.
yeah. So he's kind of like teenage. He's in his teens, and he doesn't have a ton of experience. That was amazing. The Wilhelm scream right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So need a Wilhelm scream. These sequences were really challenging to learn.
Have you heard the uncut audio of the Wilhelm scream?
Yes,
Like it's
that's
like
from
the
the
guy
alligator.
You haven't
Yeah.
heard it?
No.
That slide was so hard to do. She was pulled up by a rope for that. That was
wow.
really impressive.
Wow.
Gone.
Oh man. Look at
Stomach.
that. Oh man.
And
Oh.
you're doing all this in a mask.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
This guy's name's Timon Carter. He's a beast. He was a lot of fun to go eat with.
Were they locals?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all Canadian guys.
Yeah.
Cody Big Tobacco. This was a really fun part. So Cody would take a hit and he'd be like, "You're good, 100%. Let's do another."
Wow.
So you can see how the bark is kind of different colored there
Uh-huh.
because he's about to get slammed on his back. So that was real.
Yeah.
So they cut the part here. So I had the idea. I'm just gonna stare at her and pull it out without looking at it.
Wow.
And then we shot this whole thing where I sprinted through these trees at her, which was nightmare fuel. So this is like 100 feet down from where the buffaloes were, the skinned buffaloes.
Okay.
And this is amazing. Like Harlow, he's an amazing actor. He's on the Hulu show Shoresy.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the coach of the hockey team. And you know, I love this. It like takes an amazing note from the Jurassic Park 2 scene
Yep.
with the raptors.
Tall grass with the raptor.
You know, it's like really Dan really leaning into the cloaking of this
Yeah.
that you don't need to show the predator to make him scary.
Sure.
The
The jaws of it all.
Yeah, you know, I like, and it was hard running through because I was in the gray pajamas. That tall grass was really, really, really thick.
Did they go through and like clear it just to make sure
We
there's
had like a
nothing in the
bunch
way?
of lines, yeah,
Okay.
but they did clear it.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of, and we only had a certain amount we could do before we ran out of field.
Sure.
But yeah, this was a really fun couple days.
We're just getting sucked into the movie.
Yeah.
So like her getting pulled down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a total nod to the first Predator with Mac. So this is interesting. This part, Harlow, I actually fell on him. I really actually did fall on him. I tripped and fell.
Wow.
And they must have used that part. Here I come.
Wow. Look at that.
And I literally just like tripped and landed on top of him.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Oh, the blood mist. It's incredible.
That shot is so cool.
So good. So good.
That's so cool.
That tall grass was so hard to run through. And you can see the blood coming off me
it's
on
amazing.
the tall grass. Yeah. So this is funny. There's a guy on the left side. He's actually our second AD, Eddie. He had a full-ass beard, and they put him in the movie for this part.
Oh, as one of the French guys?
The trappers. Yeah, one
yeah.
of the French fur trappers. So good. Now this is interesting because everyone's like, "Ooh, you lost to a girl." And listen, man, I could have rolled the credits right here. I could have ended this movie 40 minutes in. Okay. Oh wait, yeah, okay. So that's no on the far left. That's Eddie with the tricon hat.
I mean, what an amazing
Mike
beard.
Patterson in the middle. He played Big Beard. Nelson. Nelson was also in Last of Us, actually, on the far right.
Oh wow.
But Mike Patterson, who's a Montreal-based comedian, French-speaking,
Amazing.
he is one of the funniest dudes.
Yeah.
He is a character, and he had this whole backstory about how he wanted to make a Predator jacket, and he was like, "Get me my jacket!" And God, yeah, he's one of the funniest, zaniest guys I've ever been around.
That's great.
He was so much fun.
It feels like comedians being in horror movies works out more often than not.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why those two things go so well together.
And
but
what a gift! What a gift for him to now have. I was in a Predator movie
100%.
for the rest of his life.
Yes.
I guess me too. I could do probably 5-10 minutes of stand up about being a Jewish predator in Hollywood, and it's the last thing Hollywood needs is another Jewish predator. But being at a bar and your friends going, "Yo, the Predator's here," and you're like, "Stop it!
Yeah, you don't need to.
Don't do that! Don't do that!"
Do you do cons?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much now because the movie's kind of come and gone.
Sure.
But I do. I have my occasional horror con.
How has that experience been?
It's great. It's really special meeting everyone and seeing the passion. And there are some true pred heads out there.
Sure.
We call them predophiles, and they love it.
Yeah.
The things that see that the bear.
Yeah.
He wanted to make like a Predator jacket. Oh, look
That's
at this.
amazing.
Oh, Mike Patterson.
What a look.
Who killed the buffalo? Look at this. Look at it. Oh my God, his posture, the way he walks, so good. He's so good.
You can spin these guys off.
I would love it.
I love me and Mike Patterson.
And the beard is real.
The beard is real. They all had full grungy ass beards.
Amazing.
Like grimy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't here for any of this stuff. I believe this might have been in the sound stage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Mike Patterson, so good. But what was I gonna say?
Conventions we were talking about.
Oh, conventions. Yes.
Pedophiles.
The guys
Pedophiles.
that build their own Predator costumes are the most impressive to me because you're walking around this like I get paid to wear these costumes and suffer and everything, and they just do it because they love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they make their own costumes, and it's really special to see. You see a kid dressed up like a Predator,
cool.
man. Give him a hug.
Yeah,
that's a special thing.
Yeah,
most of the costumes are the first version of the Predator, which I totally understand. No one's really making feral predators. Have they made toys? Oh yeah, NECA has 3 versions of the feral predator: a cloaked one, a bloody one, and then a normal one.
That's cool.
Normal suit and tie.
Yeah, suit and tie. Suit and tie.
My kid, I took him to a Comic-Con. He was 4, and he didn't know any of the characters. He didn't want pictures with anything. A predator walked by. I can show you the picture. A predator walked by, goes, "Daddy, I want a picture with him. And I go, oh, why? He goes, I love sea creatures. I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
man.
well, I can't. All right. So I took him up, and the guy immediately changed his demeanor.
Yeah.
Went from being threatening to like very cool with
Yeah,
my
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
And the mandibles worked and everything.
Cool.
It was
Yep.
a lovely experience.
That's
I'm
cool.
gonna need you to do that.
Okay.
For me.
I
Thank
got you. So this cut he's about to put in his chest here is a nod to Billy in the first movie slicing
Oh.
across his chest.
Yep.
I don't know. Is Billy a descendant of Tabe? Maybe.
I've heard people talk about that online.
Maybe, I don't
That's
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't
Sure.
quote me on that. I literally don't know. Maybe he is.
We are not
Okay.
here to make
You
canon.
heard it here first.
So now we're in the Berklade.
Yes.
Definitely a descendant.
They literally just built this field in
Look
the
at that.
middle of farmland.
Wow.
In the rural area.
Are all those trees there?
Yeah, all those trees are
Wow.
very real, very there.
Yeah.
They planted all of them. Oh yeah, this. So like the previs they sent me was like this very rudimentary CG version. Before we went to shoot this, people were like, "Is that Ryan Reynolds?"
Canada.
Yeah.
You know?
It was so cool. It was just with the ash and everything, and like seeing this come to life was unbelievable.
This scene must have taken a while.
Yeah, we were here for over 2 weeks. This was a lot. But that damn smoke, man, it was because you're dealing with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this, and the bodies.
It's so
Just
interesting
fall.
that they
Got
don't. Oh, man.
So good.
So,
so
interesting
subtle.
that they don't just CG the smoke. You know?
We didn't.
You want it
we
for
kept
real.
we
No,
kept
I
it
know.
for
I
real.
know.
These dudes were all Canadian stuntmen. They just fell off their horses and smashed on the ground.
Jeez.
Wow.
What do you think has been the most difficult stunt that you have done?
Well, I slipped right here and fell on my ass the first time. I slipped
wow.
on blood. Is that not Ryan Reynolds?
He does look like
Yeah,
Ryan
I get
Reynolds.
it.
Crazy.
I get it.
The craziest. I mean, probably going under the mud. With
Yeah.
the mud, maybe. There's a part at the end of this scene where he jumps from tree to tree. We tried shooting that practically, and they like swung me into this tree and then ratcheted me out.
Oh, wow.
I had like a 6-hour rehearsal on a Saturday. That was trying.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. I love that like they don't really show everything. They don't need to show his head coming off. We know
Right.
what happened.
Yeah.
You know?
You get the after effects.
You
That's
get-
all you
yeah,
need. Yeah.
exactly.
You see the little splatter.
Yeah, so these are all real trees, completely practical.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and then we see him. God, this smoke is so yeah.
You have so many cool hero reveals in this movie.
I know.
There's like 10.
The breathing was a nod to Jason Voorhees, Kane Hodder's
Uh-huh.
version.
Do you have a favorite Jason?
I like Richard Brooker Part 3. Okay. When he first dons the hockey mask.
What about the one I wrote? That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, that's your new
pretty good
favorite?
too,
Okay.
The
yeah.
only problem is you have to put 2 O's, VOOR.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is just
Again, I'm new to
Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees.
It's a new character that I'm working on.
He's Benny,
He's
from
French.
Argentina. Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees.
Brian hasn't signed the deal yet, so
if
he
you-
didn't.
If you look, well, I mean, you can't, but there are sticks on the ground that that stick to the left is guiding me.
Oh, wow.
There are certain little markers you'll see by my feet that were guiding me because I wasn't looking forward.
How much bigger are the feet than your feet? We talked about the hands.
They were aqua socks covered with foam latex. So like pretty hefty. The claws were turned in, so he didn't really have like toes per se, which helped with the running.
Did that make it harder just to walk in general?
No,
or
it
you just
actually
got-
made it
you
easier.
got
But
used to it?
I would have preferred it to have more defined toes to make it, look the way they normally do. But it was fine. It was all a challenge. And
Of course, yeah.
he's got that little digitigrade claw in the back that you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But when he walks, this.
Oh, wow.
This was a
There
whole
he is.
thing.
Man.
They really dug these holes. One of the guys fell into one of those holes by accident. It's really funny.
I don't understand how you're not falling into holes left and right.
This cargo net was like 150 pounds. It was so heavy, and it doesn't look hot. It's like 99 degrees outside.
Wow.
This guy was on wires, smash him
man.
down. Now, if you watch, I have the ball in my hand already.
Oh, yeah.
It was a mesh.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a foam ball that I was squeezing,
Uh-huh.
and I reached behind my back and just threw it out, and then it expanded. And they had real like mincemeat and all these disgusting things
That's
for
cool.
that part.
How did you do when they
Cut
pulled
clamp.
you up that fast, or you jumped up? I guess
I was wired.
You were wired.
Someone
okay.
yanked me up right
Okay.
here.
Is there?
I didn't
like,
actually throw this trap at him. That was CG.
That's probably for the better.
I had to do that spin maybe 25 times.
Wow. Does your suit have like cooling stuff in it,
No.
or it's no?
My
Wow.
own sweat. This was so much fun to shoot. I'm like, I'm getting excited right now.
He's the best looking Predator. The
I'll take
helmet
it.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's
Everything about it is cool.
I'll take it. I would say he's definitely also the most polarizing Predator too, because there are
Really?
people who completely disagree with you. This is my favorite scene to shoot right here. This oneer, yeah, slash against the wall. He was wired. That Tommy was a beast. I thought of to do that spin, kind of throw it like a frisbee, and then you can see I really reach out. I didn't know where the tree was. This guy,
So he's wired up too.
he's wired up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, now he's standing on something.
Okay.
Oh,
man,
that kill! I
It
was hoping that
rules.
would get Fangoria's kill of the year, but
and it didn't.
Win. It didn't win.
What
we
did?
lost to Terrifier.
Oh,
Terrifying.
well, that's okay.
tough to.
But you know what you
that.
did win is comic book resources monster. Let me get it right. You were voted one of the top 10 movie monster actors of all time.
of all time.
Yeah.
Like Lon
That's pretty
Chaney.
cool.
No, he's in there,
for
but
this
you're-
one movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. So this guy is not steeplechase. There's a thing they do at the Calgary Stampede. This guy's a champion like horse racer.
Oh wow.
Stunt guy. I thought this scene was so fun. It was so Indiana Jones.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be a good team up. Indiana Jones versus Predator.
I mean, that sounds like an amazing
yeah.
comic book right
Disney
there.
has both.
Yeah. Disney has both.
God, if I could describe to you how hot it was, like when the smoke was off, you're getting blasted by sun.
Oh, wow.
It's the middle of the day, you know?
It just doesn't look like it. Like that smoke adds so much to
I know.
it.
It's incredible the way they did this.
Yeah.
It really is incredible. And they really shot those muskets at me with not obviously any musket balls. I tried to do a Easter egg here and do the dun 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 dun
Oh.
dun, but they added some more. I really wanted to refer Close Encounters on that.
That would have been cool.
It would have been funny if he did the dun 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 dun, and it turns out that he's
He's
Yeah.
one of the.
yeah.
That's what happened to Richard Dreyfuss at the end. He's waiting for him.
So we tried to practically shoot this. This part right here.
It feels so hard. That would have been
It was
impossible.
hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
So are you in the stunt training or what did you call it?
The gray pajamas.
Yes.
Not for that.
When you were jumping.
I
Is
was
that
in the
motion
practical
capture?
suit.
Okay.
No, I was in the practical
Okay.
suit for that. I love how athletic he is. I love how athletic they made him. He's like lean and dynamic.
Your Predator, the first one was like a wrestler.
Well,
And
think
this
about
one
this.
is
It
like,
was 1987.
Right, right.
WWF was really
Right.
big at the time.
Of course.
Slow, lumbering, shooting from the trees. Dan
Your guy's
wanted an
fast.
animalistic, lean, primal, feral creature who, was like this ferocious cat.
Perfect.
So good.
Do you have a favorite weapon or accessory or
I mean, just that cut clamp
yeah.
that I threw like a
Yeah.
frisbee. Cut clamp was pretty good. I wish we got into the netball a little bit more, but
The netball's real cool. That
God,
shot
it's
is
so
so good. Oh,
that field
man.
was so crazy to look at from a distance.
It's just so much smoke.
So much okay. Now we're at the Trapper camp here. We were here for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Again, everything practical, authentic, real, even down to like little maps they had on the tables next to the beds inside the tent. It was
wow.
so authentic, down to the slightest detail.
When you're getting ready to shoot this, are you bulking up or are you slimming
I'm
down?
slimming
or
down.
Was the, yeah.
You want to be slim when you're wearing something like
Yeah.
that because it's easier to add muscle. You can always pad it out. It's harder to take it away. And the guy that I was supposed to double was a lot skinnier than me. So I had to lose about 20, 25 pounds for this role. This is a oneer. They shot this in a oneer, and it was incredible. And you can see where they...
Do they cheated at all? Like,
well,
is
they did
there
a couple Texas switches.
Yeah.
So that's Tammy right now,
Oh, okay.
who's
Oh.
Amber's double. She's a freaking monster. So athletic.
I mean, you can't
she
even
did such
tell,
a
though.
good job.
Yeah.
Watch this. Okay, so yeah, I think it took them all day to shoot to get
I'm
this
sure.
right.
Yeah.
So much mechanics here. Okay, Texas Switch.
Oh, right there.
Now Amber's
Oh.
back.
Now she's back.
Oh wow. Huh.
She should smile and wink at the camera right there, so I knew.
It's me. I'm
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Just so many elements to this part.
Yeah.
So dirty, like just all the dust.
And the guys are dirty. The guys are grimy too. You know, like
Oh, huge applause here at Comic-Con. She crushed it. I mean, both of them. It was like what a team effort. Everyone coming together.
do you remember what the biggest applause thing was at Comic-Con?
When Dakota said, "If it bleeds, we can kill it."
Cool.
That was a big one.
Cool. Yeah.
And maybe after Amber's like her scream
Uh-huh.
at the mud pit.
Sure.
Mulch is funny to me because
If you take away anything.
where is mulch coming from?
That'd be great if you don't continue that thought.
That is true. That is a great point.
Where is the mulch? How?
Yeah.
This
is
was a
there
funny.
a Home Depot down the street?
This
Where
was
is
an
this?
interesting scene to shoot too. Another blazing hot 95-degree day, but just kind of emoting his pain. There's always a repair scene in these Predator movies. That I wanted to take that gun home so
That's
bad,
cool.
but yeah, that was fun. And those dudes, the dead bodies that the camera just went over, were actual people sitting there, dead. And in also this part, there are guys who were just laying out all day.
Wow.
I don't know if that's the best gig or the worst gig.
I mean, I will say it's cheaper to have people lie
Yeah,
there
that's
than to
amazing.
build a body.
Dummies. Yeah. This rules. Just him missing that. The leg looks so gnarly. It's.
Yeah.
You know, I'm willing to bet your Predator will be in a Halloween Horror Night someday. Like
No.
oh yeah.
No.
Why?
Disney.
They rent out the rights to stuff. They do they have Ghostbusters this year.
More
That's
mulch.
not Universal.
Where's the mulch coming from? Maybe.
hope.
I don't.
Maybe he'll be in a Mickey's Not So
I think
Scary
they had-
Halloween
Oh,
parade.
okay.
They had a Predator.
The Oogie Boogie Bash.
I was talking to Dan about making a Predator like dark ride. That would be
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Oh, that's great.
So Bennett here has blue over his leg. So his knee is bent. His foot's actually in the ground for this part.
It's the Lieutenant Dan treatment. That's,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he kind of looks like Gary Sinise a little bit.
he looks a little like Justin Long.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He has prosthetic teeth in also.
Cool.
But yeah, his actual leg is buried underneath the ground.
Did
He
you
was a
meet
great actor.
any locals from there? Like, were they psyched that you guys were filming this, or did they know you were filming it? How
Some
secretive
did.
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
guys caught me outside the hotel with like basketball pictures they wanted me to. They knew I was there. I mean, everyone knows it's but Last of Us had a bigger presence than we did for sure. I love his foot. Is the
Yeah.
best actor in this scene. I'm just kidding.
And that's a real foot. That's
a real foot. That is his actual
That's a
foot.
practical foot right there.
Well, because I
CGI
believe
foot they added
his
later.
character is trying to flex his toes, but this is so funny. Amber's choice to just kind of jam that in his face to show her disdain towards him, that she doesn't want to help him, but she has to. So good.
Those scars on her arm are great too.
Well, her and Tabe both have the same scar. It's a family thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Look at the dirt. Look at his
Nails.
nails.
Yeah.
So it's so smart with the orange flowers that
Cool you down.
cool you down. It's
Yeah.
such a smart idea.
Was there anything they told you couldn't do as the Predator? Like, was anyone like Predator wouldn't do that?
I don't know, but I will say this was the hardest scene to shoot in the entire movie.
Wow.
Me walking into the trapper camp, we probably did it 35 times.
Why is
Maybe.
that?
Just my walk. I was too much like a cowboy. I
Oh,
was
sure.
too fast. I was
Yeah.
too right here. This was the hardest part. And
It's
it
an
was,
interesting walk that you've got.
It's
though.
an
Like,
interesting walk.
Yeah.
I just wasn't getting it right. I was questioning everything. It was totally me. And because there was a lot of timing involved, I was following this blood trail.
Mm-hmm. Did you go back and study how the other guys walked, or
No,
was this,
I had
I'm
to
just
create.
gonna make this
Well,
my
sure. I
thing?
mean, I knew how they walked, but I had to create my own thing. Dan didn't want that. He didn't. All the other Predators are imitations of what Kevin Peter Hall did. Dan wanted to create a new, which was great because it gave me the parameters to create my own thing. But also, if I wasn't good, then I could easily screw it up. So I'm looking at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that we're showing him in daylight. He's out of the trees. He's right there.
This is
fully
kind of like the
practical.
full first look you get.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
the fog, without the. Yeah.
Like, you have to explain to the audience.
Oh, man.
so
Smashed.
close.
I punched him right in the chest. You don't see it, but I had to put my foot on his chest to pull the blades out.
Oh.
So how many times I had to have my arm reached out for Seti to land on this one rock? I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a rock. See that rock she had to land on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. She had a tough time landing on that rock.
Yeah. Were the lasers real lasers?
Yes. they
Okay,
had-
I know I keep asking. I'm just like, was this real? Was this fake?
Predator real.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, sorry. They had 3 lasers the first time of the reveal with the face. They had 3 lasers they put together to show it on, but the lasers on the helmet were not real. They were just lights. Dakota, man, on that horse, what a unbelievable.
This scene just feels like it must have taken forever.
So I have a skull mask and a shield at my house,
cool.
and a combi stick.
Cool.
Have you worn it out?
No. So magnetic.
Oh, yeah.
This
Sure.
scene took a lot. For me, it was inspired by the Bad Boys scene when Will Smith dumps the motorcycle and they're circling around him on the highway.
Oh, sure.
That's how a lot of Dan's direction is movie references, so I understand the inspiration. Let's get a hair flip here. Whack. Oh, no.
Oh man.
So that was Dakota. He jumped off his horse
That was
on
a-
wires.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if he was wired up. Did you have to get squibbed or anything for any of these? Or
No,
is it's all
no,
just,
they just.
yeah.
I had that arrow in my arm.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a hindrance. Yeah, this was one of the toughest days also, this scene with Dakota, this fight scene. We rehearsed that to all hell.
On location, right?
There was like a horse farm down near
Okay,
Circus that
okay.
we went to, but
And you did it out of the costume, or you?
at first, yes.
Okay.
And then we rehearsed it in the costume. He got down and dirty. He was doing rolls on that mulch. See, he has the same scar on his arm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He knows he's done. It's over for him. You can see the death in his face.
Yep.
Dakota, by the way, who was working at TJ Maxx before
Wow.
being cast in this film.
Is this his first thing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
So good at it. Yeah.
So he's wired here. I lift him up.
When he's wired, do you have to put any effort in?
Yeah.
Or is it still?
I have to make it look pretty real, but they had most of his weight up. Little head tilt there, RCA dog.
Mm-hmm. How many guys are working your face?
4. No, 3 in this situation because the skull mask is on. When it's off, there's also the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the sound here is so sad. The music soundtrack.
Wow. Well, now I'm sad.
All right, now we're back at the national park.
What was the predator blood made out of?
Predator blood was glow stick material and methazil.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes little KY in there maybe.
Is it easy to wash off?
Yeah,
You would think glow stick material would not be.
it is.
Yeah.
It comes off pretty easy.
Could you tell your family and friends this was the movie you were doing? That it was a
Yeah.
Predator movie?
They,
Okay.
I didn't tell them I became the Predator. Sky was this incredible actor. Such a young kid. He's got a bright future.
Mm-hmm.
We went up to the top of the tower in Calgary together.
That's cool.
Yeah, they just didn't know I was promoted to
Predator.
the main guy. They thought I was the stunt double. And then I think like a few months later, I told them like I'm the guy.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
When you were a kid, when you were growing up, did you ever think,
No,
no? Did you no interest, no nothing? Like
Predator or what I'm doing
just
now.
movies in general
No,
or
no.
TV? No.
You know, it's funny. I idolized Pierce Brosnan as a child. because I wanted to be a spy, and then I realized that as an actor you can be a spy and be all these other things. So I did want to be an actor, in the sense that I idolized this, UK sex symbol in Pierce Brosnan. But no, I never thought, and so quickly too. Also for me, pretty incredible.
Other than Jason, what kind of roles do you want to play?
You want to be a human.
I want to be a human or non. You're talking about non-human.
Either one. I mean, obviously you want to act without a mask.
Yes,
but
I just I don't want to be a heavy bouncer, thug, henchman. It's so easy. It's so obvious. That's fine. But I want to scoop ice cream. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a lawyer. I want to play a compelling character. You look at a guy like Dave Bautista who's playing these roles now that doesn't have to be a big dude. He's getting skinny. He's, I can't get shorter, but he used to look like a pit bull. Now he's kind of coming into normal actor size.
Yep. And he's great.
He's great. He's so good. Yeah. And I like, Winston Duke. He's 6'5" years. He's 6'5".
So good.
He's great. He's in all these things. Big beard. Look at Mike. He's just so into it. He's so locked in. Completely gone. So good.
Did you talk to Bautista at all on Guardians?
No, I was with Chris Pratt that day. Karen was there. I talked to Pratt the most, I would say. He just wanted to talk about golf the whole time. I didn't see Bautista, actually. I was only there for like 2 days. It was very brief.
That was Atlanta? Is that where that
Atlanta,
was?
yeah, downtown Atlanta. We were outside.
Who did you play in Guardian?
I played Unsavory Octopus, who is an octopus drug dealer selling drugs to cockroaches.
Gotcha.
Of course.
Yeah.
The classic.
So Patterson had a blue sleeve over his leg
Mm-hmm.
in this situation. This scene is so smart, the way they set it up.
Yeah. His face is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
like, now that you're like, he's a comedian, I'm like, sure, I see it. You know, like,
Express him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear. I can hear him.
Yeah.
Oh. Ah. Oh. And Amber's like, how stoic she is. Watch her eyes.
The makeup is just so simple, but it's
simple.
It expresses so much.
I mean, she's a fucking warrior. Yeah. He's saying, like, you're a demon. I'm going to get you. So in Native American culture, whistling actually brings upon demons to you. So if you notice, Amber had the idea to do a little whistle.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Which is a real thing.
And there were a few people on set. I know one of the producers was
Jane Meyer,
yeah,
of course.
had all the Comanche background and stuff, was able to bring that to the production.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the natives typically don't whistle. Yeah. And they don't point. They point with their lips.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because
I don't know about because of that, but I just know that's a thing. But you're not really allowed to whistle.
Man.
So good.
There's so many like cheer moments in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, every time
Such a
something happens, I'm like,
crowd-pleasing
oh, it's like
This is funny. This little sequence here, the spinning that I do of this, the stunt coordinator wasn't there that day, so they're like, "Oh, just come up with a little whatever," and I was like, "Oh, that's what it's going to be." Smash, cut her hair. If you notice that, how close I got to killing her.
Wow.
And then they had a fake Mike Patterson head, which I wanted to take home with me so bad.
Did they let him take it home?
No, look at that thing. Oh,
Are these just in warehouses somewhere?
yeah,
like,
it's just in like the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
You know, this was on a soundstage. This wasn't even.
Oh wow,
it
looks
in the
great.
Woods. Looks great.
They should have built
This roar was shot. It was added in later on.
Oh, man.
So
Look at that mouth.
Although, if he got blasted in the back head by a musket, I feel like I don't know.
We don't know how their anatomy works.
Sure.
I'm kind of on his side now.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, all this setup here is great.
Was the snow real?
The snow is actually suds of soap. They're little bubbles, and if you look at it, you'll be like, "Yeah, those are
Those are bubbles.
Those are bubbles." So you might see it behind me, the spiky stump. Maybe not. No, you don't see it. So it's way back there, but you can't see it. So, yeah.
So at this point, is it cold? Because
It's cold. We're shooting nights. This is like the last week of shooting. We're in it. You see her hiding up there. So Amber really jumped off a thing, and she really landed on my shoulders.
Wow.
And she really landed on my neck.
Wow.
Smash.
There's got to be such a trust between you guys
Oh,
by the
yeah.
end of this movie, man.
She really got thrown. I think her double took that hit. And at this point, it's just me and Amber and the entire crew. That's it. We're the only ones left at this point.
How
Coco.
was it shot in sequence, or at least semi in
Yeah,
sequence?
relatively.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah. Coco did a great job jumping off my back. Coco always tried to grab at that axe that was in my side. So this was tough. I had to like jump off a platform and do like a weird sliding thing right there.
Oh, that's cool looking though. That looks great.
They cut out another scene where she was under a tree trunk and I landed on top of it and my blades went through it
that's cool.
2 inches away from her face.
Man.
This took a lot of choreography, this whole scene. We rehearsed this to all hell. The slow turn, look at her. Yeah, that's not yours. That's mine, lady. You don't know how to use that. So then she defangs the snake. She gets me to break my own stuff.
Oh man.
I was so scared to hit her right there.
Sure, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
right
like-
there.
So you have a sleeve on at this point now?
Yes, blue sleeve
Yeah.
on my arm. So
Is it
now
around the Predator's arm or is it around your arm?
It's on my... Yeah.
They took off whatever.
No,
your
it's on the
sleeve-
Predator's
The
arm.
Predator's arm.
Patrick,
Okay.
he's the predator.
No, I know.
No, he's saying it's over the practical suit. So that was a really interesting sequence, flipping her over there. Yeah, she sees the rock. Because she can hear the shield charging up.
Yeah.
You know? All my slime, all the methazoe was coming out of my mouth and falling on her face. Wow. She's like, stop.
Would they re-up it after every take?
Yes.
The slime on your face? Yeah.
Yes. There's a really cool shot here of us standing off. This was like, oh my God, we were like fighting the sun right here. The sun was so close to, wow, look at that. The sun was so close to coming up. This was the last day of shooting. Betsa. Oh, to get Coco to hold that thing, and that was a lot of sequence there.
Anytime an animal does something, it's impressive. Like for a movie where you're like, yeah, they got them to do that. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's wired. That's great. That was great. Oh, yeah,
There he
face
is.
first
Oh,
in.
man.
Okay, so now you're you're in.
Now he's supposedly under, which is fine. And you'll see it's just the head lifting up.
Okay.
And you'll see he's pretty still. I'm like revealing all the secrets. I shouldn't be doing this, but okay, this is just the head. On either side, there's 2 bars holding this head. See how still he is?
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts. Still the head. Still the head. There I am.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So are you
Slowly
sitting
rising
or
up. No,
are you?
I was on my knees. Now
Okay.
I'm getting up. Just let him out. Oh, the smell! I can smell it. And there was the thing was wrapped around. The rope was wrapped around my neck.
Yeah.
It's so good.
How much changed in the script from when you started to this? Was there?
It was pretty close.
It was pretty close.
Yeah,
No,
a couple things changed to make the story clearer.
I guess the reshoots.
Yeah. She was, come on, do it. That's a reference to Arnold. Do it. Headcock, RCA dog. through the
Oh
head.
man.
Every time I went down, mud just shot in my face.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have to sit there. And they were like, don't breathe. The camera's going to go inches away from your head.
Oh,
And that's literally... Oh, they didn't even... Oh, that's so good.
yeah.
Huge applause.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, my God. Incredible.
Man.
What a journey, huh?
Yeah.
This little girl she did a good job too.
Is there anything you look back on where you're like, oh, I wish I did that jump different, or I wish I did this?
I always watch my hands,
Okay.
and like I'm always like, I wish I was doing more with my hands. Sometimes I catch my hands are frozen sometimes, but other than that, not really. Hands are hard because you're thinking about 15 other things.
Sure.
Breathing, looking down, all that. The hands are usually one of the last things you figure out. So good. Where is that head now? Who has that thing?
Did Dan keep anything? Do you know?
Well, Dan is a net ball. Yeah. Someone's got that gun. I don't know who has
such a cool
it.
gun.
I'm sure Dan has some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have that in your office right when you walk in, like as a deer head? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Was there ever talk about a direct sequel to this? Like not just another Predator movie, but her
Prey 2?
Yeah.
I mean, leave it to Dan to leave some Easter eggs behind,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I have no idea. He doesn't tell me anything, so I genuinely don't know.
She's such a good hero. Like it would be great to.
I know there needs to be a Prey 2.
Sure.
But,
Are there any things, either costume-wise or prosthetic-wise or whatever, that you would not want to do again? I don't want to limit you in.
no, I mean, I can handle anything really, but, yeah, not really.
Okay.
So good.
Look at that face. There we go.
I met the guys who animated this sequence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Beautiful. Yeah, because it suggests there are more coming in the credits, right?
Well, yeah, at the end.
So
At the end.
I want to see more.
And I love that it kind of recaps the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Ewing, the great Marty Ewing.
That.
Yeah, I really appreciate the way this sequence was put together.
Oh, Ben. I know Ben a
spoke
little
to Ben
bit.
last night.
Ben was a JJ guy for a while.
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
As we follow each other on Twitter.
Jeff Cutter. Yeah. Yeah, I had a nice conversation with Ben last night,
that's
actually.
nice.
Yeah, they did a good job. Everyone did a great job. There's the bear scene.
What was the rap party like?
We didn't have one. It was because it was COVID. We just got out of there.
A rap Zoom?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Did you get rap gifts?
Oh.
Because I love rap gifts.
Dan
Big
gave
rap
me a leather-bound script.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
And we all got hoodies that said skulls on it because we didn't even know what the movie was going to be called when we shot it. Dakota. I should get like a tattoo of that. Oh,
Yeah.
There he is.
the and.
I was
going to
ask about this. The and the as. Is that a contract thing? How did that happen?
I requested the and credit.
Cool.
The as was their choice.
Yeah.
But I just, I was like, can I be the and? So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
There are now 3.
Means it's gonna be Prey 2.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think about AVP, at the end of AVP, they show up to collect his body.
Mhm.
Oh.
So I don't know. It's a great question. I don't
Yeah.
know what Dan has in mind, if he has anything in mind, but it's a great setup for the future.
Have we ever seen Predator Planet? Predator?
Well, there's the Rodriguez produced one. They take the humans to another planet. We don't know
yes.
if that's what their planet.
Sure.
They're
Okay.
predator dogs in it.
Yes.
Jennifer Din, good friend of mine. She was great. She was great. Yeah, I mean it when I say I genuinely don't know. I have no idea what the future holds, but I just know Dan likes to pull references from past things. I know in AVP that they show up to collect his body. So I don't, who knows?
So Tom and Alec were puppeteering.
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
Tom, Alec, Dave Pennicus, and John were all incredible with doing the face and all that, and also the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like a SAG job. That's like a real. You're an actor in the film.
Well, they're adding so much to it. I mean, that's a huge part of that character is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess final thoughts, right? We're wrapping up here.
It's
This
great.
is the end.
I mean, it's an honor to be a part of this film. Obviously my role expanded more than I ever could have imagined, and just the reception that it got, the message behind it, especially with the whole, indigenous culture and kind of shedding a light there. Such a special, this is my family. This is my first big one.
Yeah.
And these are my family forever. So it will always hold near and dear to my heart. It's just the whole thing, the Comic-Con, all the junkets, everything, the interviews. It was an amazing. We got 6 Emmy nominations. We were at the Emmys in January. Just incredible.
That's cool.
And this movie's brought so much for me, and I'm so grateful for it. And everyone at 20th Century as well, and Disney, all the marketing people are good friends of mine. And
do you want to give your Emmy speech? If you had gotten the Emmy?
what would I win? Well,
I don't know, best monster in the
Predator.
TV movie.
No, Disney submitted me for best supporting.
Sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Obviously I wasn't nominated,
Yeah.
but
in this world, you get it.
Yep.
Music's swelling. You're going up on stage.
I said it. I'm just grateful for everyone and thankful that I had the opportunities that I had, for Dan and Marty and everyone to give me an opportunity. Alec for
Oh, they're playing you off.
oh, they're playing me off. Wait, what did Eric Andre the other day did? He sang.
Oh
He
yeah.
sang
yeah,
to the
yeah.
But yeah. So
Do you got anything you want to plug?
do I have anything I want to plug?
I don't know when this is coming out, so
Follow me on Instagram,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm most active on Instagram. Just 2 Ds. That's it.
okay.
I mean,
You
I
got
don't
some
know.
stuff coming up. We won't talk about it necessarily.
I do have stuff coming up. I'm premiering VHS. Yeah, it doesn't matter because this won't be out in time.
Keep an eye out though.
Keep an eye
Follow
out.
on Instagram.
Oh, Running Point. Running Point. I'm in the new show Running Point on Netflix, coming, I believe, in January. I hope. I'm playing a human. You'll see my face.
I love that.
That's great.
It's
great.
So
It's nice that you can straddle it and do both. Like that's the ideal version of this.
Yeah.
I feel like.
yeah, humans is the goal, but yeah,
Yes.
doing both is definitely exciting.
Yeah.
So
Do you have guys that you see when you go to auditions, where you're like,
all my auditions are on tape.
Oh,
I wish I
sure.
went into rooms.
yeah.
I wish I had.
I didn't know if you're like, oh, the boys are back. These are all the same guys that. Come,
Well,
you know.
there's like 5 of us that
Yeah.
all compete
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
same jobs, and I'm always like, God damn that guy.
But it's crazy. On Zoom, you can't get a feel for how physical you are. Like, you're tall. You're a big guy. Like,
You would think that
Yeah.
would come into play. Yeah, it doesn't. People love tapes. People
Wow.
love tapes. So, yeah, but we all know we're all aware of each other's existence. So
We're going all the way through the end of this script.
Yeah,
are we?
We gotta wait. We're almost
Patrick,
there.
Patrick,
Jason
would you like to
Solog.
do an Emmy speech?
Would I like to do an Emmy speech? Yeah. What did I win for?
You won for second best monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's me, Patrick. Thank you so much for voting.
No, they're playing you off.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right. Well, thank you. Okay, thank you.
well,
Thank you
let's
so
just
much.
talk about. Let's everyone here. Sarah Schachner obviously
Yes.
was great. Donald
Played strings,
Foster.
too.
Donald Foster on the clarinet was awesome.
Yes.
Caroline Buckman on viola was great.
Lorenzo
I thought that was
Colano.
her.
Yeah.
Matthew B.
Alan
Smith.
Silvestri. I've heard of that guy before.
Sure.
Ellen was great for set deck.
Mark Forbes, Wolf Trainer.
Mark
Tim
Forbes.
Williams.
Austin
Esther
Swain
Murphy.
was a great office PA.
Yep.
Julia Pados was a great director of photography.
Lonnie Dandler doing that DIT.
Yeah, DIT baby. Catering by Orlando's Motion Picture. Or
Let's
I love
talk about the catering really
I love
quick.
Orlando.
What was the food like?
Well, he had to be careful
Amazing.
because he couldn't gain too much weight, though.
I guess
'cause
that's
of-
Every
True.
morning I had a BLT. I loved
Wow.
it. Me and Michael Bauman, the gaffer, would and Luis Moreno, the rigging gaffer. No, we wouldn't. But I had a BLT every morning. It was great.
That's great.
And
Hugo Garcia, COVID monitor.
yeah, Zuma Zamora was the lead hairstylist. She was awesome. Our COVID PAs.
Yeah.
Dave
Steve-
Snyder was with us actually for the reshoots. Dave was awesome. My cook and George Sack. He coordinated
George
all that
Sack.
transportation.
Yeah.
Not
Killed
an
it.
easy job. Jeremy Marinas was our second unit director.
Roger Spain, second unit B, camera first AC.
Seriously, and our second unit a dolly grip of Jason Tomlin's, we needed him.
I will shout out Twitter friend Steve Asbell.
Yeah.
Steve Aspel, also a Twitter friend of. I begged him to follow me. It is my mission in life to get Steve Aspel to follow me back
Okay.
on Instagram,
Oh, okay.
not Twitter, Instagram.
Okay.
I've been on a plane with Steve. Steve and I have
Wow.
had meetings together. Yeah.
Steve, I first found out about Steve because he was a big X-Files fan and was on
He's a
Kumail
huge X-Files
Nanjiani's
fan.
X-Files podcast.
Yes.
And I followed him years ago, and now he's the damn president.
Steve Aspel is a true. We need more Steve Aspels. He is a true fan.
Yes, he's
Romulus,
so excited to be doing what he's
First
doing.
Omen,
He
all
is
these
the
movies that they're
best
putting out.
job in the world, and he loves it. He loves every ounce of it, and I commend him for that.
Yes.
You know, I want to like hang out with him more.
Yeah.
But he, you know, you're the president.
He's the president.
You can't hang out with the predator.
We'll get
but
Steve, if you made it this far, Dane wants to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I want to get ice cream with
Here's
Steve
what I'll say.
Aspel.
Steve, come on the pod. We'll do a show with Dane.
Seriously.
Yeah, we'll do the First Omen. Dane will come watch it with us.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We'll,
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
cook up some oatmeal.
Yes.
You know, we'll watch some X Files, do Coveney. We'll get into it. You know.
All right.
Piracy,
That's it, guys.
Piracy is not a victimless crime, guys. You know.
All right.
For more information, you can go to that website that was just there.
Thank you, Dane.
Oh,
Thanks,
my
Dane.
pleasure to be here. Who's got my fee?
Look at that.
I mean, I feel like I say this every episode. Good movie.
Really? Yeah. I don't think we'd do ones that we didn't enjoy. Well, yeah, we would.
We would.
Yeah.
We would.
We would just lie. Maybe
Yeah.
we're lying about this one.
No, we're not, though.
Definitely not.
I own it. So that means we're not.
Patrick, you own some terrible movies, though. That is not
The barometer is...
proof that it's a good movie.
Yeah, I
it
guess
is a
so.
great movie, but that is not proof.
Do you want to look over right now and find the first bad movie that I own?
Sure.
Brian is currently looking at my Blu-ray collection.
Do you have X-Men The Last Stand?
I do.
Okay, there. I win.
Right next to Jack and Jill.
Oh, no, I
didn't even
I
see
think
Jack
Jack
and
and Jill is better than X-Men The
I
Last
like
Stand.
Jack and Jill.
Did I tell you my Jack and Jill story?
No.
We shot Hop on the same lot as Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
A lot of quality movies being made at the time. And whenever Adam Sandler came out of his a trailer to go to set, they had a black curtain around him because they didn't want you to see what he looks like as Jill.
Wow.
The thing is, he looks like he always does on Saturday Night Live whenever he played the girl, but they wanted to hide it.
Wow.
Also going on, right below us, Jodie Foster editing The Beaver. So she was really nice. She talked, and
Which lot is this?
it was the lot next to Target in West Hollywood. It's called The Lot in West
okay.
Hollywood. I don't know if they still shoot there. True Blood was shooting there. So
Wow.
we do a lot of meetings in the bar, like we just could be
Yeah.
open. And not only that, James Marsden and Anna Paquin got to hang out together.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, they saw each other. X-Men The Last Stand. See, it all comes back. And the weird one was, though, Sacha Baron Cohen and his co-writer on The Dictator they just walked around the lot all day working out the story for The Dictator.
Oh, wow.
Very nice, though. Like
Sure.
would stop and talk
Yeah,
to us,
yeah.
and we were.
I
What
guess
do you
that's
do?
a good way to get exercise
It
in.
was great. It was great, and we would explain to him what we were working on, and he feigned like it was okay.
Okay.
So thank you,
Great.
Sacha Baron Cohen. He's good.
Okay.
Pray. Was that too much about other things?
No, it's interesting.
I really love Prey.
Yeah.
And I wish they were bringing back the lead from it in another Predator movie. Or have her be like Ash and take on something new. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Have the aliens come down.
Yeah. The new Alien.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm just thinking about it, and the Alien TV show takes place on Earth.
Yeah.
The new one.
Is
that's
it called
coming out.
Alien Earth?
I don't know what
I
it's
think
called.
it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Did you like the new Alien movie? I did.
I did.
Yeah, it was good.
Alien Romulus.
Yep. That was
Also
cool.
available on Hulu.
You're right. We're going to do that next week with its director, Cameron Crowe. What? He's going to listen to this and be really honored and then go, sure, I'll do your podcast.
I hope so.
And then what are we going to want to do the wildlife with him? What are we going to do
I
with
would
him?
love to do anything with him.
What would you, if you could pick
Well, I'd
one?
have to look and see what he hasn't done commentaries on.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I got to imagine he didn't do Aloha.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, thank you for watching. We got a really good one next week. I'm very excited.
Maybe the best one.
We say that all the time.
We mean it each
we
time.
mean it each time.
Each one gets better. We're learning.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Patrick Ottner and Brian Lynch. You can find out more about the show at heythat'smepod.com or on social media at heythat'smepod. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary, where you can find out about guests early, submit questions for us to ask on the show, or even do a commentary to your own favorite movie with me. Our music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. Special thanks to Annalise Nelson and Mark David Christensen. Be sure to leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.